Hey guys, welcome to my channel. How are you all doing? So in today's video I wanted to talk about how I felt during ketosis, and I felt I needed to make this video because I was getting DMs on Instagram that how did you actually feel during ketosis? Did you feel okay? How were your energy levels, and what were the advantages that you felt ketosis had over other kinds of diets or other kinds of lifestyle? And I am making this video from my perspective and my point of view only, and I do not speak on behalf of the entire community who does ketosis. So all my points of view and all my feedback is going to depend on my experience alone and my past with food and diets. Okay, so let's begin. I will not go into the details of why I chose keto as my particular diet, because if you want, that is a video for another day. I will just try to tell you the advantages that I felt while I was in keto. Okay, so first thing is what I felt during ketosis. I need to make this clear that it took me around 3 to 4 days to enter into deep ketosis, and I did check that because I was using the keto sticks to determine whether I was in full-time ketosis or not. And the very first thing that I felt while I was in ketosis was the absolute absence of hunger, and I never felt this kind of satiety before. You know the feeling that when you're having food and you're completely full and you just don't even want to see food? That happens when you're burning glucose. But when I was burning fat, I felt this, I felt I was full all the time, but my stomach, I did not feel bloated or anything. I did not feel I had overate or anything. I just felt satisfied all the time, and satisfied in the sense that I did not feel the need to munch. I did not feel the need to eat all the time, and it was this freedom from hunger that I enjoyed the most when I was during ketosis, because I don't have very good relationship with food. Even when I was skinny, I did not exactly have a healthy relationship with food. And so this freedom from constantly being obsessed with what I'm going to eat next, what do I want to eat next, was very, very liberating for me. It was like I was not preoccupied with the thought of food because I wasn't hungry. And that gets me to my second point, the complete elimination of cravings. When I first got into ketosis, or even when first I was researching on this particular diet, I went to forums and people said I met people out there who had been doing the ketogenic lifestyle for 10 years, 9 years, 12 years, and they said they never felt the craving to go on a sugar binge, or craving for ice cream, craving for the normal cravings people have, and it depends on what you crave at the moment. But they said that they never felt the cravings, or at least their mind was not preoccupied with cravings as it is when you go on traditional diets. And that time I felt like, how is this possible? It's not possible for you to go 3-4 months without a cheat day on any diet. But when I got into ketosis, I really understood what they meant. My cravings were just poof, gone, zero, nada, no cravings at all. And I am someone who has very deep issues with cravings. I cannot control myself, especially during those times of the month, or when I'm stressed out, when I'm emotionally in a compromised state. I always look for comfort food, and comfort food for me is refined carbs and sugar, like pizza, ice creams, cakes, crackers. To have that completely go away, I did not crave sugar or refined carbs at all, and I thought I would miss simple carbs, especially bread, because I love bread, any form of bread, pizza crust and bagels and normal toast. donuts. I just love bread in any form, and to have also, it was unbelievable for me actually that I did not want to eat. In fact, there were times when I entered ketosis during August, and I was in full-blown ketosis for about 6 months, as far as I have tested and as far as I know. And I went for a 2-week vacation in October, and I was lucky that I happened to visit countries where the food was as such that I was able to maintain ketosis during that time, okay? And it was also because I was doing intermittent fasting, so it was okay. I used to have breakfast, and for like 12 to 13 hours I would not need anything. And during that time I was surprised because I would see all this street food around me, you know. I would see all this, especially in Bangkok. I mean, the street food is so, like, it's everywhere and it's so cheap, you know. But still I did not once cheat on my diet because I did not feel like it. And I'm not saying it is I had this mental determination or I had this very, very strong willpower. I did not even get the, you know, biological primal urge to have those things like I normally do when I go out on vacations. So luckily I was able to maintain that diet, which also gets me to my next point, that the keto diet for me personally was very easy to maintain because the cravings were gone, the hunger was gone, and I could say no. If somebody offered me the food I like, if somebody offered me ice cream, I could easily say no because I did not feel like having it. So maintenance wise, for me it was a very easy diet to maintain. The next point is my energy levels. And people in ketosis, I have also talked about this in my keto flu video, that people in ketosis will tell you that they have this euphoric surge of energy. And for me it was not this euphoric surge, but it was like more like a very, you know, sustained release of energy. Like when I am running on glucose, what happens is that I can feel my energy level go up, down and up and down. But when I burn fat, that is when I'm in ketosis, I just feel my energy levels are so sustained during the day. And even with intermittent fasting, when I was doing intermittent fasting, I used to eat like breakfast in the morning, and then I did not eat lunch, and all I ate was dinner. I was on 2 meals per day. And during the entire day, I was on my feet all the time. Yeah, I was on my feet and I worked out. I did not lift at that time. I was doing only HIIT, but I had the energy. You know, I could do that. I did not feel the need to lie down. I did not feel the need to rest. I was doing everything, all the household chores plus my HIIT workouts on intermittent fasting. But what I do need to point out here is that I feel that I personally perform much better when I run on carbs, especially lifting and especially with the working out. So when I burn fat as energy, I will finish the same workout in a much longer time than I'm running on carbohydrates, because in my experience I just perform well when I'm running on carbohydrates. The last point I want to talk about is the change in my mental, not capabilities, but I would say in my mental functioning, you know, because of course after the keto flu subsided and once my brain was running on ketones, my brain felt like it was I cannot explain it. It was very, very efficient, you know. I have never felt that kind of mental energy before as well, because it was I was having a lot of mental clarity. I was remembering things very well, and I also had a lot of mental energy to concentrate, to focus, and you know, it's like when you study too much and then you get mentally exhausted, and there comes a point where you reach saturation and you're just like, oh, just like fuck it, I cannot take any more information. But during that time, during those 6 months, my mental energy was like, you know, I was reading so much, I was studying so much, Now all these things were the good things I felt during ketosis, okay? But I did have a hard time with keto flu, which I talk about in another video. If you haven't seen that, I will link it below. And I hope this answers a lot of your questions. And of course, I dropped down fat like that. I mean, I was burning fat all the time, 24/7 I was burning fat. So I dropped a lot of weight, and I think that I also improved my insulin sensitivity to a great extent. I haven't done any of my medical tests yet, but I am due for one. So when it comes out, I will let you know as an update if you want. But just feeling, the PCOS symptoms subsided, like my acne was gone, and my acne was really bad before I started ketosis, okay? I just had this big breakout of acne, and it was just pathetic. My entire right side was painful, inflamed, and it was full of cystic acne. So that subsided, and ever since then I haven't had a major breakout. I have like 1 or 2 breakouts during those times of the month, or when I'm stressed out, or when my hormones are up and down. But luckily I haven't had a very big breakout. Overall, I think it did improve my health a lot. It also improved my just the way I look at myself now. Because, and I'm not saying it is because of this particular keto diet, but because I was successful in what I wanted to do, it gave me confidence. And because I had reached my goals, when you reach your goals, when you're successful at something you have been trying so hard and dreaming about for so long, it changes you as a person. It changes the way you think about yourself. It changes the way you look at yourself in the mirror. And that has by far been the greatest thing of 2018 for me. Overall, I don't follow a high carb lifestyle even now. I'm somewhere in between. I'm at around 100 grams of carbs per day, and that I have found is my sweet spot right now with the intensity of the workouts I do. So yeah, I have been talking too much. I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, then please leave it in the comment section below. And until I see you guys next time, stay healthy. Bye bye. Love yourself and take care. Love you all. Bye bye.